And welcome to yet another edition of the Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show with your host, Russell K. And we have a treat for you. And we have another amazing artist being supplied each every week by Blue Shamrock Music, who's our sponsor. Special thank you to Mr. Stephen Brady for all that he does. And on our show today, we got the lovely Miss Bridget Pross, an amazing artist. We're going to find out more about her musical journey, her music was one of the funniest things that ever happened to her. We're going to find out all about this and much more. Stay tuned. The Music Dreams USA Radio Artist Spotlight Show is coming up right now. And again, being sponsored by Blue Shamrock Music. Special thank you to Mr. Stephen Brady. And again, you can check out our show each every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. And it's nothing but fun. If you're an aspiring artist and you're looking to get your name out there, go to blueshamrockmusic.com and look up Stephen Brady. And he'd love to speak with you to help you to get the exposure that you need. So again, if you're an upcoming aspiring artist, we want to speak to you. Now, let's go live and meet our special guest. Here she comes. Put your hands in the air for the one, the only, Miss Bridget Pross is in the house. How are you?
Hey, how you going, Russ?
I'm doing well. Well, welcome to our show. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for taking time out here to be with us. And so my first question is, how is the weather up in beautiful Australia?
So firstly, I'm in Tasmania.
I knew that. I just tested you.
Testing my ability to know where I am in the world.
Well, hey, wait a minute now. Isn't Tasmania and Australia together, kind of?
Well, sort of, but not. So there's Australia, which is the mainland they call it, and then the Tasmania is the little Love Heart Island just down south of Australia. Yeah, but it's part
So
of
you,
Australia.
so you are part of Australia, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm good then.
You're good. You're all right. You're
So
doing
tell me
well.
about Tasmania. Tell me, I mean, I've heard wonderful things about Tasmania. Tell me more about that.
Well, we have two heads, so there's that. Um, no, Tassie is beautiful. It's pristine. It's absolutely gorgeous down here. Everybody wants to actually live here, to be honest. Just because it's absolutely gorgeous. So it's nice and clean. It's at the moment it's overcast. I don't really like overcast days. But yeah, it's a beautiful part of Australia. I love it down here. It's got beautiful tall trees, Russell Falls. Oh God, you got the Port Arthur down south, which is the convict where the convicts came. So it's beautiful, and I live right next to the beach as well. So it's just like a 2-minute walk to the beach.
Wait a minute,
So
did I hear you say convicts?
yeah, this is
Are you
where
talking
they actually.
convicts like the bad people or convicts the good people?
Well, I don't think the convicts were actually bad. They were just the ones that were chosen to go down to colonize um Australia, Tasmania. So yeah, and I've recently actually found out that both my sides of the family came down on the first fleet, which was the first ships, the convict ships down to Tasmania from Ireland and England.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm a thief, really.
Well, this
Um,
was a family show. Well, so much for it being a family show. I
yeah,
love it. That's what I love about this show. Steven
yeah.
always sends us amazing artists. You know,
Oh, really? No,
yes,
Stephen's
each
so
every week.
lovely.
Again, special thank you to Stephen Brady and Blue Shamrock Music. Those guys are our buddies.
Yeah, yep. I'm getting to know Stephen a lot, and he's a great guy. So
Yeah.
he helps me with the technical side of everything because I'm a musician, man. I don't know what I'm doing.
So, how did that relationship begin between you and Blue Shamrock Music?
Well, it's a funny story because I was just so I met a guy in Melbourne when I was living in Melbourne, about oh golly, 15, 20 years ago, and his name's Chris Lee Boots. I don't know if you know of him.
Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, I've heard his name several times on our show. We have to invite
Yeah,
that guy. I actually, it's kind of funny you mentioned his name because we have
yeah.
to invite this guy on our show.
He's
We have to
actually
invite
so
him.
lovely, and he's actually American. So, and I've been friends with him for like 20 years, and because I met him at a gig at like I think it was a market gig that I did for a while in Melbourne. I met him because he was there. I think he was singing or something. He might have been doing something, and I gave him a CD. Like it was one of my first CDs ever, and I gave him one of those, and we just became Facebook friends, and we've been friends ever since. And because we're like linked with music, he said to me, like, only maybe it was only a year ago, he actually sent me a message and said, you need to get into Shamrock so that you can release your songs because they're really good. And I was like, oh, okay, I should do that. Duh. Because I'm no good with all that stuff. I seriously need help with all that stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing. Um, so he just prompted me and helped me actually start it up, helped me get in contact with Stephen. And then we chose They're Gonna Hate You Anyway as the first song, because he thought that was the best one to start with. So that's off my third album. And so we just went with that. And then like within a couple of weeks, it was number one for like 22 weeks or something.
Wow. So let's talk about that song. How did that song come about and what does your songwriting look like?
Oh, golly. Okay. So I was really badly bullied in primary school and high school
Oh no.
and through my life, basically, just because I'm a singer and people don't like that. Um, people don't like it if you're good at something. Um, and so I think it was about 6 or 7 years ago, I sort of thought, oh, I really need to write a song about that whole thing that I went through in primary school and high school, which was completely traumatic. And, I think I'm nearly over it now, but it still sort of, hurts you sometimes in certain different aspects of your life. And so I just started writing this song, and it just basically just fell out of me because obviously it was there to write, ready to be out in the world. And then, yeah, when it went to Melbourne and recorded it with my great friend Michael Zammit in Altona Meadows in Melbourne. And yeah, rest is history. And he said to me, Bridge, this is a really good song. And I was like, you reckon? He's like, yeah, yeah, you're onto something. So yeah, that's the story of the song. And now it's out and it's been number one for 22 weeks.
Do you think like I just heard you say during the interview that you were bullied, and
Mm,
so kind of like your songwriting is really based around some tragic things that happened in your own personal life. Do you
mm.
feel like the music that you're putting out right now is actually touching that fan base?
Definitely, absolutely. And I'd love it to get out even more than this, like, because I feel like a lot of people get bullied during their schooling, and they just don't really say anything about it. They just sort of bottle it down and just don't really, get on with their life and don't really, address what they've actually been through in their early childhood. So I think it's really starting to make an impact on people. And also the Do It for Dolly, which is actually happening on Friday, tomorrow. It's like a fundraiser for a little girl who lost her life from bullying here in Tassie, here in Australia. And she was kind of the girl that I sort of wrote the song about as well as me. Me and her. Dolly was only like 12 or 13 when she lost her life to bullying.
Oh
So
no.
so that it's a big organization now. Like they make a lot of money to put into trying to help young kids with bullying and doing the counselling and stuff. So that's actually happening tomorrow. That one of the fundraisers down here in Tassie. So yeah, she was a big inspiration for me writing that song actually, because I thought, oh, that's so horrible. Like, yeah.
Of
So
all the artists that we interview, I tip my hat to you because that's a real problem in the world today. We talk about bullying and just all kinds of crazy things. So I tip my hat to you, and thank you for making music great, and thank you for helping to get the message out there that bullying is not acceptable. And so
mm,
I tip my hat to you, and thank you for doing that.
thank
So
you.
how did your musical journey begin?
Okay, so I always knew that I could sing from when I was little, because I'd sort of hear a lot of my friends in primary school, they'd sing along or whatever, and I'd be like, you're singing out of tune. I just knew. So I was like, okay, maybe I can sing. And then my uncle Bazza, mum's brother, he played guitar, and so he taught me how to play guitar, gave me my first guitar. He couldn't sing to save himself, but
Mhm.
um, but he played the guitar really, really well. So he taught me some chords. Then I just decided to sort of put everything that I was going through in my life into writing songs with my guitar. And so I think I wrote my first song when I was about 12 or something. And um, then from then I just kept going and just made a promise to myself that I was going to sing and write songs. Hmm.
Awesome, awesome. So when you're not doing your music, do you have any special hobbies? Is there anything you really enjoy doing off stage?
Um, I do a lot of sewing. Like I sew because I get lots of holes in my socks, and I'm like sitting there sewing while I watch a bit of Netflix and stuff. So I do a lot of sewing.
Oh, really?
Um,
Because I got
try,
some stuff I can ship over for you. You can maybe help us out at the station here. We got some holes in some of our shirts, so we have to do some reordering on.
yeah, send them down, and I'll do them all. That's my thing. But yeah, I spend a lot of time with my dog. I've got a red heeler, Australian cattle dog. His name's Red Dog, obviously. He's
Oh,
actually he's
is
actually
he here right
watching me.
now?
Yeah, he's watching me, but he's on the lead. He's like watching me. I told him I
Well, why don't
got
you go get him?
to.
Let's see. I want to see him.
You want to see him?
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
well,
go see your dog.
okay. Here we
I'm a
go.
dog lover.
He's Red Dog.
All right.
Can you
While
see?
we're
Can you
getting
see
ready to look at the beautiful dog, look at that.
him?
Oh,
Hey, Red Dog,
I
you're on
love dogs.
film.
Look at these.
You're
Oh,
on candid camera in New York City with Russell.
hey.
Woohoo!
Oh,
There he is. He's going back
oh,
to his manor, Red Dog Manor, I call it.
oh. I love this show. Thank you, Stephen Brady. I love this show. And
He's a good
so,
boy.
when did you get your first break in the music industry? Can you kind of like tell us about that? How that went down?
Oh God, my first break. I guess my first little thing was I was dating Paul Bender, who was studying bass guitar in Florida, Miami, actually. And he said, Bridge, come over and we'll record your first album over here with all my friends. So I thought, yeah, cool. So I ended up going over there with him, and we recorded the first album, which is called I Wanted To. And yeah, I guess that was the first thing. I don't even can't even believe that my first album was recorded in America. It's like, okay, we'll go with that. Hmm. So that was yeah, I'd say that was my first big thing that I did. Yeah. And then obviously this third album with all of the tracks that keep coming out with that is, I guess, pretty amazing as well. I was actually thinking about this morning because I watched the Barbie movie last night with Margot Robbie. You know her?
I
She's
do. What'd you think about
Australian.
the movie? Did you like it?
I actually really liked it. I really, really, I thought, yeah, this is cool. It's like got a really good meaning to it. And I actually sang one of my songs on Neighbours, and she was in the scene when I was singing. So that was like, oh, 20 years ago now in Melbourne. And I thought, oh, that's so cool. That's my claim to fame.
There you go.
So that was a big thing for me. So I'm on Neighbours as well. So that's all right. Not too bad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How can our listeners get in contact with you, and how can they download your amazing music? I actually had an opportunity to check out some of your songs. You got like a really cool, unique voice. I
Oh,
mean, it's like, I'm not just saying because you're on the show. It just seems that it's like really catchy and wow, that's really
yeah.
good.
Cool. Cool.
How'd that
Well,
gift
I
come about?
I absolutely love Jewel. She's amazing. Like I feel like I kind of sound a little bit like Jewel and Bonnie Raitt. I love Bonnie Raitt and Melissa Etheridge. So I've sort of molded myself around those, and Sheryl Crow, all around those girls. So yeah, but you can sort of check me out on Apple Music, iTunes, I guess it's called, and Spotify, and also I have some YouTube clips that are on YouTube. Just type in Bridget Pross.
Okay. Let's talk about your music now. All right.
Okay.
This is your opportunity now to share with our listeners who are listening now. We'll listen a little bit later. Let's talk about your music. Are there any favorite songs you like? And if so, which ones are they and why you like them so much?
My songs.
Hmm. Do you have any favorite
Um,
ones? Or, I mean, obviously you like them all because they're your songs. But are there any songs that like kind of like really stand out to you?
um, I guess on my first album, I wrote a song called "I Wanted To," which no one's really heard. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of meaning in that song, and I feel like because we recorded that in Miami with Paul and his mates. So that was a real massive, big sort of band production thing, which I'm really proud of, and I'd love to actually release that one because I haven't actually released any songs from the first album. So I'd love to get that one out again and actually bring it out to light. Maybe that's the next one. I wanted to.
Well, I got one step better for you. If you
Yeah.
send it over to me, I
Oh,
use that to kick off our morning show tomorrow.
oh,
We have the Russell K. Alexa and Sean Brown morning show. And we always play a song from the artist that we interviewed the night before. And
oh,
so what we'll do is we'll actually use that song to kick off our morning show, which is again at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern. So you can actually listen in and you'll be able to hear us talk about
I
you
will.
and we'll play your song.
That would be awesome. I'll send it to you for
Oh,
sure.
by the
I
way, I
want you
forgot
to
to tell
listen to
you,
it too. Yeah.
it's free of charge. There's no cost to you.
Oh, I was going to charge you actually. Nah.
Oh, is that how that goes?
Yep.
We have to talk to Stephen about that,
Yeah. Yeah.
So as we wind down our interview, I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure meeting you and talking to you and just all tons of laughs. What can you
Thank you,
share with
Russell.
our listeners? What do you want to share with them? This is your opportunity.
Oh God, so many things that go through my head.
Go for it. This is your
um.
time.
Okay, so at the moment, I'm trying to do a thing where I'm trying to be as authentic as I can be, which is really difficult. So I guess just try and think about what you're doing and if you're being actually authentic or not. That's my advice.
Okay. What else are you working on?
I've got a lot of different song ideas for the fourth album actually, which are sort of just rolling in my head. I've got a lot of themes that I sort of want to touch on a lot actually this time. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. Um, to be honest, I haven't actually got the guitar and sat down and actually tried to write anything. I've just been jotting down in my notepad just ideas and dot points at the moment. So that's where I'm at with songwriting.
Do you have any upcoming concerts or anything you maybe share with us about?
Where am I at this weekend? I'm at Irish Murphy's on Friday, which is tomorrow, from 5 to 8. Down in Salamanca in Tasmania. And then after that, I've got to go to the West Point Casino, and I've got to do the late shift there from 10 to 1 in the casino bar. So, yeah, a couple of things coming up.
I love me some casinos now.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
All right, as we close out, here's a cool question to ask. What is the funniest things ever happened to you while you were on stage?
Okay, so I was doing a gig at Manchester Lane in Melbourne, and I was getting ready to go out on stage because it's actually a beautiful stage, the red velvet curtains and everything, like an actual stage. And I walked out there and tried to pick up my guitar, and it just went, I missed it, and it went straight down to the ground.
Oh
And I was
no.
like, oh, that's a great start to the gig. So that was devastating, but now I look back on it, it was kind of funny.
Oh, that's cool. Now, do you do any like pre-event rituals to get yourself ready for the big show?
I used to have this app where I did like a little bit of a warm up, but I don't have the app anymore, so I don't do that. So I just sing along to some Jewel or some Sheryl Crow in the car, some easy singing, because that's quite easy singing for me. So I just warm up my voice like that. I don't really do scales or anything like that. I just sing along to a couple of songs. That's what I
Awesome.
do. Yeah.
Any final
Yeah.
thoughts you want to share with us?
Oh, golly. No, not really. Just have a good day, everyone.
Well, thank you so much for being on our show. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you here for a little bit and find out about you and your amazing journey. And we wish you all the best as you move forward. And, we're going to have you back again.
Thank you so much, Russell. You have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll send you that song.
Absolutely. Yes. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, that was the one, the only Miss Bridget Pross. And thank you for her time. And again, you are watching Music Dreams USA Artist Spotlight Show being brought to you by Blue Shamrock Music and Mr. Stephen Brady. If you are watching now or will be watching later, please reach out to blueshamrockmusic.com and get in contact with Mr. Stephen Brady, and he'll get you all the details on how he can get you on the show and get you some more exposure with your music. And who knows, you may be the next guest on our show. We'd love to have you. Until the next time we meet again, every Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern, you can find us right here, all of our social media outlets. Again, a special thank you to Blue Shamrock Music and Mr. Stephen Brady. A special thank you to our artist, Miss Bridget Pross. And until next time, it's your friend Russell K. Wishing you and yours a very pleasant good evening. And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Take care.